to see Lola Young earlier. I thought that was an interesting set, which she did the song. If you listen to popular music, you would have heard it. It's called Messy. She did a live rendition of it. It was pretty good. Listened to a couple of great DJs already. Right now, actually on the stage is Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott, you remember Missy Elliott? She is rocking it on main stage Coachella right now. So Coachella day one almost in the books. It's been bonkers out there. I've been following it. I don't know if you have, but apparently they've had like Armageddon out there. They changed their traffic company this year, and there was people in lines to get in there for like 16 hours. People were just in their car for 16 hours trying to get into the camping area. So they've had a very hard Thursday and Friday. All the people out in California to go to Coachella. So it's been interesting morning. I literally just got back. I got back. We were at the farmers market again. So we were down in the city of Melbourne. So we went down there to get some, fruit and vegetables and meat and things like that. And I got back and I got all these messages. They're like, Ping, can you come and help? And sorry. They're like, can you come and help and do this? And I was like, yeah, I could do that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cough into the microphone. How horrible of me. I was trying to get some lunch, some lunch down before we did the show, because between Trisha's show and this show was like 10 minutes. So I was trying to scoff some food before we jumped on here. It's good to see you all. Great to see you. You need to be on all the drugs. There's some fun stories about that. Maybe we can talk about that after Coachella is over. By the way, that poll that we were talking about last night, I've sort of been keeping an eye on it. They did end up hitting that over 5,000 signatures. That's great. Thank you for all the people who signed it. I saw at least like 40 people from our channel here that signed the petition. So great work. That's really good. Hey guys, good to see you. Hey, coming to you from a freaking hot Melbourne today. I don't know what happened to winter. It's freaking hot down here. All of a sudden, we've gone back to being summer again. It was getting really cold for a period of time. Now it's bloody hot again. So it's like 98 degrees or something outside. I don't know. I think we just got the usual stuff like broccoli, cauliflower, things like that. Nothing extravagant. I think Mrs. Ping got some turnip. Turnip? No, Swede. The other one that looks like a turnip, but it's not a turnip. But they look very similar. She got some Swede. Yeah, good. No, yeah, no, I was like eating a sandwich. I was like, oh, I have to eat this very quickly before we jump on here. Because probably not going to get a break now until about like 4:30, 5 o'clock. So, but hey, I'm happy to be here. Did you guys have fun with Trish? Did you have fun talking about Menendez brothers and Lorie Vallow? We're not going to talk about Lorie Vallow here tonight. I promise. Okay, we're not going to do that. I'm not going to drag you through another 45 minutes or an hour of it. I'm sure you've heard enough of it today to probably last a lifetime. Oh, that's very interesting. Actually, some breaking news out of Australia. This just happened. Wow. This is actually big news. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Breaking news. Holy crap. Come on. Sorry, my links are not working. Hold on, guys. Here. Yes. Can you see this? Convicted child killer Rick Thorburn is found dead in his jail cell after taking his, so what do you know who he is? If you guys don't know who he is the father who killed a young schoolgirl in Queensland. This is breaking news only in the last hour or so. He killed this beautiful little girl, Tali. Hopefully I'm pronouncing her name right. The story is wicked. If you have never ever heard this story, I can tell you a little bit about it. So, because I followed it when it happened down here. So this is their normal family. So there's mom, the two sons, and dad, and they brought a girl into their home, a foster kid called Ty Lee. Ty Lee. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. We'll play a video. We'll find out. Um, the story's so bad. The son, so their son, was sleeping with her, molesting his foster sister, to the point where she had only just started like having her period and stuff like that, and she thought that she might be pregnant. Now I don't know if I can't remember if she really was or not, but I think at one point she thought she might have been, from what he had been doing to her. And when this sort of news got out within the family, this guy Rick decided to kill her and dispose of her body. He got in so much trouble in court. The judge basically said he was an unreliable witness, that everything that came out of his mouth was only to benefit him, and he could not tell the truth about what happened to this little girl, like to save his life. Basically, he couldn't tell them. He kept lying and just talking absolute crap. Like, he's like, "Oh, I didn't know that I killed her. I may have smothered her." Like, no, no, no. Like, you deliberately went out there to try and fix a problem that you knew it got out anyway. Like, the fact that she went missing, she went missing for a period of time. Then they found her body in a nearby river, very, very degraded, very decomposed. And the story about the molestation between the brother and her ended up getting out into the public anyway. So murdering her had no freaking benefit at all. Like, there was no reason to kill her, because everyone knows about it now. Everyone knows their son was molesting his sister to the point where she thought she was pregnant. Um, and she actually reached out to like family members. So like the mom, and I think she reached out to the mother a couple of times, saying, a couple of funny things like, "I missed my period, and your son's been doing sort of X, Y, and Z maybe." So she tried to sort of alert someone, and they just decided to become Inshallah and protect their family, even though she was supposed to be part of their family. Instead, Rick killed her. Took care of the problem, as he told them in SMS. Took care of the problem, and killed this lovely little girl. It's one of the most shocking stories. So he is dead, found in his jail cell from a self-inflicted injury. He is gone. He will not see the end of that sentence in jail, and for a man who decided that he felt he had the right to take a young girl's life, he seems to be a freaking pussy who couldn't take the consequences of it and stick out his jail term. To me, the fact that he has done this says much more about him and his character than anything. He's a coward, took the easy way out. He also took what he thought was the easy way out with her. So it meshes with what we know about Rick, that he's just a coward. He'd rather offend on a young girl who's already been offended on by his own son than to try and, do the responsible thing and tell authorities, "Hey, my son did this. We've had a young girl in the house and this is what has happened." That's what a responsible person would do. Anyway, he is a yeah, not in our culture, mate. In our culture, we call people like Rick cowards, because that's what they are. He's not Indian, or he's not, from the Middle East or Japan, or something like that. He's not from Asia. He's a white Australian dude. He's he's not doing no, like, you know, "I'm sorry for my sins," and like stabbing himself in the heart. He's not doing that. He just couldn't hack it. The son was 16 or 17 at the time. Hold on. Let's go back. I was just shocked at the news, but let's go back. Let's go back. So he's 64, and the girl, she was only 12. 12, so young. What? Okay. They said it's understood that Thorburn was found dead in his jail cell at Woodford Correctional Centre in regional Queensland on Friday. That was yesterday for Australians. They're saying Queensland Corrective Services confirmed the death in a statement. They say a 64-year-old man was accommodated in a single cell and was found unresponsive at 10 p.m. at night on Friday, so very late last night. They say responding officers called QAS and attempted to revive the man. However, their efforts were unsuccessful. His death on Friday comes after at least 3 S-word attempts since he was convicted of her murder. They say he was found unresponsive while behind bars in February 2024, August 2022, and September 2020. He would have been eligible for parole in September 2036. So quite a while. He still probably had, another 11 years or so, possibly. They said here Thorburn was found to have been motivated to kill after learning his youngest son, Trent, then 19, had an incestuous sexual relationship with the girl and believed he may have gotten her pregnant. He reported he reported the young girl missing on October 30, 2015, claiming he dropped her off at school in the morning, but she never made it back inside the gates. Her body was found 6 days later by fishermen on the banks of the Pipama River. They're saying here, despite the family's concerns, she was actually not pregnant at the time of her death. Queensland Deputy State Coroner Jane Bentley found in her inquest report that Thorburn had shown no remorse for killing the 12-year-old at all. He pleaded guilty to murder but claimed he had accidentally suffocated her. No. He pleaded guilty, yeah, so he pleaded guilty but gave a lame excuse. He was later convicted of 13 child sex offenses in unrelated incidents involving 2 young girls. His son Trent was sentenced to 4 years in prison for incest, perjury, and attempting to pervert the course of justice, but spent just 16 months behind bars for his alleged offending. His older brother Joshua was sentenced to 3 months after pleading guilty to perjury and attempting to pervert the course of justice in 2017. That's in relation to the cover-up of her murder. So those perverting the course of justice and perjury, that's lying to the court and failing to report her missing when they knew the truth of what happened to her. So Rick's wife, Julianne, served 6 months in prison after pleading guilty to the same charges. And 19-year-old guy, there he is, Trent. And 19-year-old man, he's a man, he's over 18, sleeping, actual sex. It's not like they were playing doctor or anything. He was actually sleeping with a 12-year-old in an incestuous relationship to the point where she either thought she might be pregnant or just, I'm not sure. Maybe it was her way of alerting someone to her, her being offended against. I think that's probably what it was, a cry for help. And they didn't take it that way. Instead, they tried to, they killed her. So I think she's part New Zealander, like Maori. If I don't want to speak incorrectly. Think it's been a while since I've done this case. I want to say that her father's Maori, but I can't remember. Tali Palmer. So, let me see. Inquest. So there was an inquest here. I'm not sure what her nationality really is, and I'm not sure if it's ever been discussed. I think we're more worried about how she was offended against, but so her middle name was Alyssa Rose, which is a pretty name. Let's see. This is the inquest here into her death from the coroner. Just seeing if there's anything here. They said an autopsy was conducted, but the cause of her death could not be determined due to the level of decomposition. She was found in a prone position with her head and arms submerged in the water and her back, buttocks, and part of her legs exposed. A torn pair of underpants was around the top of her right thigh. There were no fractures of the skull or any other bones, and she was not pregnant at the time of her death. There was no definitive antemortem injuries or antemortem injuries, so she wasn't pregnant. The torn pair of underpants is concerning, especially when you hear about the offending that the father. So the father was done with child CSAM/CA offenses after they found out about Tali. So it's concerning, like what happened when he found out that his son had been diddling their foster daughter. Did he also offend against her? Was it not just the son? I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, the coroner's court said that they believed that it was possible that even Rick was offending against her as well, and that they thought that that was part of the reason that she was killed, is not just because the son had been doing it, but because he had been doing it too and thought that maybe he had got her pregnant. So she really she really had a horrific, when you're put into a family like that, and I can speak to it. I've been through that process myself, right? I've done it. It's very hard on that child. It's extremely hard because you're trying to blend into a family unit that you're not really a part of. No matter how many times they tell you that you are a part of that family, it would take many, many years of positive reinforcement and actually showing those actions for that child to ever believe it. I promise you, I've been through it several times, so I could understand what she might have been thinking. Oh, it's just another family. How long am I going to be here? Maybe I'm going to be here for like a year, and then I'm going to get moved again. So not only that, she now had to deal with being offended against the father and the son. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know if they say anything, bud. I don't know if it's listed. I can look it up, but I don't know if I'm going to get an answer about it. I don't think I'm going to get an answer that would. Oh, her mum's Kiwi, so that would make sense. So they say Tali Palmer's Kiwi mother, so her mum's Kiwi, so that would make sense. I'm not sure who her father is, but who's her dad? Do we know who? I'm not sure if I've ever heard who her father is. And I've seen her mum in several press conferences and things like that, but I don't know if I've ever seen the dad. Yeah, I think it's someone in her family's. I think some sort of like Islander or something like that. Um, yeah, no, Kiwi is they're very much like Australia in a way, but they have a different complexion of people. So in New Zealand, you have white New Zealanders, and you have Islander or Maori New Zealanders. So you have people that come from like Polynesia, but you also have Maori people too. So you get a mix. You get some Poly, you get some Maori, and then you get the white people, and then you get Asian people too. But the big ones are the white Kiwis, Maori, and Poly. All very nice people, all very nice. I know a lot of I know quite a number of Polynesians and Maoris. They're very very nice people. Kathy said, "I have not heard the Kiwi term. You've not heard Kiwi? Kiwi is New Zealand. So when we say Kiwi, it means is the reason we say that is because their national animal is a kiwi. So if you don't know what a kiwi is, I'll show you. So their national animal is this like flightless little fluffy bird. You would have seen it if you've ever seen a New Zealand like logo or flag or something like that. There you go. This is a kiwi bird. So this is why we call New Zealanders Kiwis, because this is their national animal. They don't necessarily call us kangaroos or emus, but we have sort of adopted the name Kiwis for New Zealand people. So there you go. That is their national animal. Marlene Clausen said a rock spider family. It's the crazy thing is, I'll show you in the inquest document. It's not just the father and son. The mother, she knew about all this and was complicit in the cover up. So you got a father, a mother, a son, all offending against this 12-year-old girl that they brought into their family. It's like it's the horror stories of adoption. It's what it is, adoption and foster care. It's horror. Like this is what every foster child is paranoid about and hates the system. Like I guarantee you there are so few success stories that don't end up like this, and it's brutal. Yeah, so if you missed the news, Rick Thorburn is dead. He died after attempting to take his own life several times over the past few years since his conviction for killing Tali Palmer, and he has now died. He was found dead in his cell 10 p.m. last night in Queensland, Australia. So uh, let me try and find an older video for you from like ABC. Hold on. ABC. That's not the ABC. No, that's not it. There's an old video here. Yeah, there's an old Queensland police video here we might be able to watch. I don't know what this is in reference to. This is when she first went missing. I think this is before they actually arrested Rick and and they figured it all out. So this is very early on when she first went missing, and then they found her body. So this is from Queensland Police.
Just to give you a little bit of an update in relation to the investigation into the homicide of Tia Palmer. We currently have the SES on site again down at the Pimpamar River conducting a search. That has partly been organised due to the location of a shoe a few days ago. This shoe was located on the opposite side of the bank that Tia was, and probably about 150, 160 metres from the bridge. We still have a number of vehicles that haven't yet been identified. So I would ask anybody who is in that Pimpamar area around Kirkham Road North between the 30th of October and the 5th of November, just to come forward and let us know that they were there and let us know what sort of vehicle they had. Probably the last footage we have of Tia before she went missing. It also shows that she does come across as being older than 12 years of age. She does look older. She's taller than other students. So we'd like to get that footage out there just to possibly prompt anybody who might have seen her. Now that we have a sort of an up-to-date or more recent images of her, the commitment and of all the investigators certainly hasn't slowed at all.
All right, well, I'm just going to call her Tia then, because I can pronounce that way better than her full name. Yeah, so this was the footage that everyone saw back when she went missing. I don't really understand why they were so fixated on, oh, she seemed older than other 12-year-olds. Who cares? It almost seems like when we found out what actually had happened to her, that comment just seems wrong. You know what I mean? It just doesn't mesh very well. Hey guys, good to see you. Hey Nana Lana, Catatonic Joe Neal, Laura T's here. Hey Diane Crawford, how are you, my friend? Good to see you here. Who else is here? Kathy Lynch is here. It's a quiet Friday night. Where is everyone? Rachel's here. Good to have you, my friend. Yeah, it's good to see you all. Video Reel? Was Video Reel here earlier? Let me look through my chat. SP Mama was here earlier. Hey, my friend. Oh, Video Reel. Hey, buddy. How are you, bud? Good to see you. Yeah. So the man convicted for murdering her is now deceased. He will never see the light of day. He died in jail. I don't know what you would want me to say. I don't feel sad that Rick is dead. I couldn't give two fucks whether he died, from old age in prison or died from his own hand. I don't really give anything. I don't give no f's. You you do this to a child, don't care. Don't care if they send you to America for the spicy injection. They want to do that. Good luck to you. Have fun. Don't care. You know, praying against a foster child is literally the lowest of the low. There is no lower. These kids are vulnerable and they are, marginalized due to their circumstances, and then you pray against them. That makes you one of the worst predators on earth. Really does. It makes you one of the worst type of predators because you see an easy target and you can't resist. It says more about you than it does about the child. Marlene says, save the state some money, dude. Yeah, that's right. They don't have to house his fat ass anymore. Catatonic says, probably signed up for foster for nefarious reasons. So they did. They signed up. I don't know whether it was to predate on her, but it was for money. They signed up because they were struggling financially. That's it. It was so they could get extra money. It's like the stories we always hear about. You know, we still haven't figured out how to get the swear button to work with StreamYard. Tried a couple of things and we haven't been able to do it. It's right here, but it doesn't play through this. So if I press it, you guys won't hear it. I'll hear it, but you guys won't hear it. And we haven't been able to quite figure out how to make it work with StreamYard. Now, it works with other software, like there's other types of streaming software. It works with that because they all work through the same sound card when you're streaming through the desktop, not a browser. When we use StreamYard, it's running through the browser, and for some reason they don't overlap on each other. So it doesn't work. So I don't know. We'll figure it out one day. Until then, you have to put up with the occasional swear word on my channel. Sorry, I'm not Patricia Griffith, and I'm not going to say bejeebus and stuff like that. Just I'm Australian. You're going to have to deal with it. You're lucky you don't get any C words because I drop about 50 of them every day. Joe Neal says clearly, why not a boy? Because he was hetero and yeah, it could have been, or it could have been what they actually like. You don't get a choice. A lot of the times in foster care, they just say, "Hey, we had a child come up for foster care. It's a girl. Like, is that okay?" I I would have second guessed about bringing a young female who's around that, 12, 13 age, that puberty range. I would be very concerned about bringing a young girl of that age into my house if I had two older sons. Not that I think my sons would predate on a family member or anything, but you just never know. And having such a young girl who's unfamiliar to your home is not a blood relative or sister. it it's a lot of risk. It sort of is. And to me, it just makes that risk profile just go through the roof. Not saying that excuses anything that happened to Tia. I'm just saying, like, I would have had, if it was my family, I would have had second thoughts about bringing a very young teenage girl into the family. Which is very sad because it would be nice, right? It would be lovely to do that. I'm a foster kid. I'd love to take every child that needs a home. Hey, the Thoris. Hey, my friend. How are you? Oh, I think you are the second $50 donation we've ever had. I think in the whole time I've done this, we've had two, and you are the second. So I appreciate it. That is very, very kind. The Thora says, I just woke up, so happy to be here. Much love to my friends, Mr. and Mrs. Ping and Fur Babies. Hey Muffin. Yeah, he was on the show last night. If you watched last night's episode, he was sitting here in the chair and he was playing. I was patting him. So if you watch the end of last night's show, you'll see Muffin. He's over here at the moment. He's sleeping on his. We made a little couch here for him, next to me, and he sleeps down here now. So, Joe Neal says, "Give me a 300-pound girl to adopt." Wow. I don't know. I don't like to think of people in that way, Joe Neal. I like to think of we're all people. Doesn't matter what size you are. Doesn't matter if you're 400 pounds or whether you weigh 1 pound. I don't know. I don't see people like that. Let's see. Yeah, thank you, my friend. That is really, really generous. That'll really help. Actually, a lot of people have helped with the trial, and I really appreciate it. I'll tell you a little quirk about YouTube. All right. So a lot of people have been helping over the last few weeks, and I got my statement for this month. The closest one that I'll get it probably like next week or the week after. So really close to the trial, but it doesn't include anything that people gave me in the last month. It only includes stuff for February. So that's the way we sort of get paid. It's almost like 8 weeks behind or something. We get paid for the previous like period. So it's weird how it works with YouTube, but I appreciate it nonetheless. You guys will make my credit card a lot easier after the trial. So thank you very much. It's very kind, because my credit card is very angry. It's been angry for a while. Joe Neal said, "I'll buy you and the wife dinner for one of the nights you're there." I appreciate it, buddy. It's very kind. She's gonna be there for 1 or 2 nights, and then she has to go back. She's got meetings and things that she has to be back in Melbourne for. And because we only have one car, I'm going to be basically stranded in Morwell until Friday. So I'm going to be there until Friday evening, and then she's going to come and pick me up because she needs the car because she travels around for work. So I'm going to be stranded in regional Victoria. No, it's going to be fine. We're going to be in court most days for like 8 hours, and then I've got live streams that I have to do for you guys. So, Kathy says, "Does Ko-fi come through immediately?" Yes. So the Ko-fi comes through immediately. Same with the PayPal. They all come through instantly. It's just the super chats and the memberships. They come through every 8 weeks or whatever it is. Gayla says, "Ask a hire car company to sponsor you." I don't know. We've looked a little bit into a couple of sponsors here and there, but we're just not at the viewership or the numbers just yet. They want me to be at around 5,000 subscribers before they'll do a sponsorship type thing. Like, when you see like, oh, you get a VPN or, use HelloFresh or whatever. They want you to be at like that 5,000 mark. So we'll see. Johnny L says, "Nip into the pub for a pint or two and some crisps." Yeah, I will. I think they have a pub down there. Marlene's here too. Hey, Marlene, good to see you, my friend. But the Thoros, it is so good to see you. I hope you're feeling better. Hope you're feeling better, my friend. Laura T's here. I haven't heard much from my other Laura. There's another Laura, Laura G. Laura G, I haven't heard from in a while. I saw her pop in a little while ago. I hope she's feeling okay. She had a really hard year last year. I really hope she's doing okay. It concerns me that she's become very not antisocial, just quiet. I'm very, very worried about her. Hope she's doing okay. But it's good to see my other Laura. We got two Lauras. This Laura, Laura T, and then Laura spelt the other way. That's Laura G. So we have two. We're very lucky. Yeah. So Tia Palmer, her killer is now dead. I don't know what else to tell you guys except for sometimes bad things happen to bad people, even if they do it themselves. So I'm not upset at all. I don't really care. I care for the content. I don't care about him. This was from her funeral. This photo here. She was a very pretty girl. Very smart too. Apparently, everyone at her school said that she was often did very well when she applied herself, when she wasn't, distracted and things like that. But she was very, very clever. The 64-year-old man was accommodated, yet we know that. They say Tia was placed into care in January 2010, and the Thorburn family became her full time carers in January 2015. Trent told his mother he had SA'd Tia and was concerned she was pregnant. What a thing to go tell your mom. Could you imagine going to have that conversation with your own mother? Mom, I've been sleeping with my foster sister and I think I knocked her up. What kind of conversation is this? They said his mother then told her husband, Rick, who then murdered her on 29th of October. They say Thorburn said his plan was to dispose of the body, which was found 6 days later on the banks of the Pimpama River near the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia. She was decomposing and naked, except for those torn underpants. A Queensland coroner found in 2021 that Tia had likely died as a result of choking or asphyxiation in a deliberate act by Rick and rejected his claim it was accidental. Thorburn was a pallbearer at her funeral on the 14th of November and was charged almost a year later with her murder. Rick was one of four of the Thorburn family to be convicted over her murder. His two sons and his wife were also jailed prior to his conviction. However, all sentences have since passed. He was the remaining one. He was eligible for parole in somewhere around 2036 or 2038. So he had another 10 or 12 years in prison to go. So he has now left this world. Thank the Lord. Galo says I would have dragged him to the police station. Yeah, you have to look at that family dynamic. Where did any person be the reasonable adult here? Who? Any of them? I don't think so. Was it the mum? No. She covered it up. Was it the dad? No, he killed her. Was it the adult son? No, no, no. He was predating on his freaking sister. Who in that household was the responsible person or the adult enough to have a foster child? None of them. It was no one. It's crazy. Marlene said two sons and the wife and the dad. That is right. That is right. Well, there you go. Yeah, I want to put this photo up because it's so pretty. Here you go. That's from Tia's. Her, yeah, Tia Lee. Tia Lee, is that how you pronounce her full name? Tia Lee. Everyone calls her Tia, but I don't know if it's Tali or Tia Lee, but they call her Tia on all the videos. Let's see. I don't know if I can. I don't know why 60 minutes keeps coming up, but I wish I could play it. Rick. I don't know why. It must think I like ABC News. Yeah, maybe if we go here. Yeah, I won't play the music, but you guys can see the little captions and things like that. Laura T says, new folds. Hey, good to see you, my friend. Oh, foals are being born at the stable. Oh, your friend. I know your friend that owns the horses. Oh, you're going to name it after Moonlight View? I think it's a great idea. What a great name for a horse, right? Moonlight View. I think you should definitely name a horse that. Yeah, so you can see in this video, this is Rick right here carrying her freaking coffin. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, maybe I'm thinking of a different case, but cops actually bugged this funeral to see if he would say anything about her at the time. Yeah. So there you go. Look at him, even wearing a shirt saying like rest in peace and wearing her favorite color, and this is the man who killed her, being like, oh, I'm so sad that she died and I'm carrying her coffin. That's her. I think it's her mum on that corner. You can't see her. She's right at the front. This is what you do. What a what a horrible family. The Thora says, huge thank you to everyone praying for me. I truly need and appreciate you all. We missed you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. He was he's asking how old Rick was when he died or how old when he offended. Let me know which one. But I think he was 64 when he died on last night. He was 64, so still a young man at the time. Oh, hurt. So it would have been 2015. If he was that, so it's about 10 years ago. He would have been 54, 53 at the time. So early, no, yeah, early 50s. So he would have been 54, 55, something like that at the time when he hurt her. Muffin, hi, no, you can't. Hey, Daddy's wearing the nice pants. You can't destroy them. These are the ones I bought because you broke my other ones. Hold on. He wanted to come up. Here he is. Hey, Muffin. Hey, Muff. Here, come up here. Do you want to step up? You want to go to sleep? He wants to sleep here. Hey, Muff. Here. Look, say hello to everyone. Hey, do you want to say hello? You just want to sleep? I don't know what he wants to do. He just wants to hang out, I think. He wants to say hello to everyone. He's like, oh, I can't let Dad have all the, special attention. Isn't that right? Hey? There you go, Mr. Purry Cat. You're drooling everywhere. My hands are full of drool. Stop. Hey, Mr. Drooly. So yeah, there you go. I'm a little uncomfortable now, but that's okay. He wants to be here with us. Yeah, there you go. Tia's. That's her father carrying that coffin right there at her funeral, and yeah, yeah, he wants to go to bed. I don't know why he wants to be up here though. Sean says a ragamuffin. Maybe that's what we didn't name him. He came with that name. So, how old, her brother was 19. So he was 19 at the time of the death and offending. So he was a grown man. He was a grown dude at the time. He was not a child. That's why he was charged with what he was charged with. It's yeah. I don't know. I don't know if we can play this. Yeah, I'll take you to 9 News on the Gold Coast in Queensland when this is when the inquest got underway for her. And then I'll go to a different story.
A coronial inquest into how 12-year-old Tiali Palmer was murdered by her foster father is set to get underway today. Tiali was killed in 2015. Her remains found on the Gold Coast, but the final moments leading up to her death have never been determined. Her foster father, Rick Thorburn, was sentenced to life in prison after pleading guilty to the murder in 2018.
So there you go. That was the inquest back when that happened. Let's see. I just want to have a quick look through here. Yeah, here. On the evening of the 28th of October 2015, Trent, that's the older brother, sent his cousin some Facebook messages in which he told her that he'd SA'd and had intercourse with Tia. He said that it had only occurred once. No. And that Tia had instigated it. Okay, so a 12-year-old why do they all have the same story that it's always the child that is the one that came onto them? Where is this kind of like thinking coming from? Oh, it was definitely the child's fault. You're the adult, you absolute dumbass. You're the one over 18 that makes you an adult. She is a child. You're the one, even if that was the truth, which it is not, you are the one that has to be like, hey, that's inappropriate. Stop that. You have to be a grown up at some point in your life. He wrote, I just want the kid gone and out of my life, but I know that she is also a source of income for mum and dad as well. I can't risk us losing money because she is gone. Also, if Tia did say something to child services and she is pregnant, then it all gets investigated and I could go to jail because a court isn't going to believe me over her. We don't believe you anyway, buddy. It's okay. He says here Trent's cousin told her mother about this disclosure the next afternoon, and her mother told Trent's mother. Miss Thorburn discussed it with Trent that afternoon, and he admitted that he had engaged in a secret sexual relationship with Tia, and that he was worried that she may be pregnant. Shortly thereafter, Miss Thorburn told her husband. Mr. Thorburn said he was concerned that Trent may go to prison. They discussed that if Tia had complained of stomach pains that afternoon, and that this could be consistent with her being pregnant. What's wrong with people, man? What's wrong with people? I got here late, so did Mrs. Ping get a right hook to your right eye, Ping? Or is it a shadow? It might be a shadow. It does look like I got a black eye. I don't know why. I think it's just a shadow from this light. Actually, this is crooked today. What happened? There we go. No, I think it's just a shadow. We're playing with a new light. So we did get a new light that can be adjustable for different types of white. It can be like warm white or like warm or whatever. It can be like clear. So we're still playing with that. The old one was better. The old one we had was better, but it died. It didn't work. It just turned it on one day to do a live show. It didn't work anymore. Joe Neal says occasionally a previously abused child will present. Yeah, I agree. I don't know if she previously was though. That is true. I have heard this. I don't know if this is as sexually available is the right way of displaying it. The way I've heard it is they will display sexual activity that they normally wouldn't because they're mimicking what they've been through. I don't know if it'd be like they would come on to a 19-year-old or something like that. I think it's more like their behavior would be more advanced than their age would indicate. At least that's the way I've always read it. Let's see. I was just trying to see if this had anything about arrested in charge with Tia Lee. Yeah, you can see the cover-up in action. In a conversation with her sons on the 12th of September 2016, she said, we have to stick to the same story about her going to school the next day and whatever. So the whole family was in on it. The whole family was in on covering up this little girl's murder. Pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. Yeah. All right. There you go. Rick is dead. Bye. Have fun in hell. See you later. I think Satan wants to have a chat with you. Bye-bye. Have fun down there. It ain't Coachella. Gonna have to do a lot of gonna have to do the Homer Simpson thing and eat donuts until you pop. Joan Hill says, we'll present. Yeah, later, Rick. See you, Felicia. Bye, Felicia. Peace out, you absolute scumbag. Ain't no one gonna be going to your funeral. I would be surprised. Like maybe your kids and your wife and some like your other relatives will go. Ain't no one gonna give an absolute fuck that you're dead. Bye bye, scumbag. Sorry about that. Sorry about swear words. We really do need a swear button. Ping gets emotionally invested too much. All right. I'll do this one that Kathy sent in because she seems very she wants me to do it. So, what is this? Family of Maryville pastor kidnapped in South Africa. South Africa, okay. Asking for prayers. I don't think I'd be asking for that if I had a loved one missing in a different country. I think I'd be asking for like SEAL Team 6, the FBI, Batman, like someone, not prayers, but I get it. I get it. He's a pastor. Okay. Maybe that's what the currency they work on is prayers. All right, let's see what this is about.
Ends now with breaking news.
We begin today with breaking news. An East Tennessee missionary has been kidnapped while servicing in South Africa. While serving there, the victim is 35-year-old Joshua Sullivan. Police say he was preaching a sermon at the Fellowship Baptist Church in Motherwell Township last night. Masked men with guns broke into the church, stealing 2 cell phones from the congregation and driving away with Pastor Sullivan in his own truck. Pastor Sullivan's home church is Fellowship Baptist Church in Maryville. He moved his family to South Africa more than 6 years ago to run Motherwell Church. We're reaching out now to people who know and love the Sullivans. Here is Pastor Sullivan's father-in-law.
What happened last night is a total something that you know that it can happen, but until it does happen, then it comes close to home. So we're just asking everybody that they would pray for Josh. During this time, nothing has been resolved.
And now friends and family, of course, you can imagine anxiously waiting for more reports regarding Sullivan's return, and they are all asking for prayers. Our Evan Lasik has been following this situation. Evan, where do we stand? Any update in the case?
Well, Brittany, currently the FBI, local police in South Africa, and the U.S. Embassy all working this situation. Authorities say the kidnappers are in touch with South African church members. We're told Sullivan's voice was heard on the phone as proof of life. Kidnappers are asking for a ransom, but we have no other details on how much that may be. Coming up at 4, I can tell you more on what family and friends say about Josh Sullivan.
Yes, of course, we'll follow this story to the end. Evan, thank you very much. And you'll want to download the WVLT News app to stay on top of this breaking news in the case, especially when we're not on the air. This is the fastest way that you can get.
You know, it's a very dangerous situation. I have seen a few of these before. I don't know if I've seen a missionary be captured. I don't know if I've ever seen like this type of thing, but I've seen tourists who have been like taken at gunpoint in South Africa. I've seen tourists who have been killed in their accommodation. That has happened a bunch of times. Like there was one where a family from England that were over in South Africa, and they were in a like a hotel, and people broke in the middle of the night and shot and killed them. And that was going on, Gala. Remember when that was going on, like about like 3 or 4 years ago, where there was a huge spate of UK expats who were going to South Africa, and they were being killed in their accommodation. It was happening a while ago. It was really serious. Like it wasn't like one every year or whatever. It was like happening every week. There was a case every single week where expats had been targeted, robbed, killed, abducted, found dead later. So it's not a good situation. Do they know who took him? They say Josh was abducted last night by 4 armed gunmen. They are in that process right now. We don't know very much. They said that kidnapping happened during a service. They said Josh basically surrendered to be a missionary at a high school, and they started the Fellowship Baptist Church. Sounds like he's given his life to God, like throughout his life. They're saying it's terrifying. He never set out to hurt anybody or do anything. I can't believe this happened. I hope they find him soon and that he's okay. Do you think that it would be the smartest idea to abduct a church guy? I think there would be better targets than a missionary. I think oftentimes they don't have a lot of money because they often fundraise to do their mission work through the church. So, like, if you want like $1 million ransom, but they're not the smartest people to abduct. That's very I don't get it. Marlene says neighborhoods in South Africa are like compounds and forts. Yeah, I mean, if you ever watched the trial of Reva's trial where her partner shot and killed her, you'll see what some of those homes were like. And his home was like Fort Knox. He lived in a gated community with security. His house had like all these security features, and the fact that he thought it was a robber is just ludicrous with all the security that he had. The Thora says, my friend and I were so happy to do the miniature horse video. Yeah, I know. A couple of years ago, you guys did the miniature. Yeah, so I know who your friend is with the horses. Yeah, that video was awesome. Gaylor said some even had private security killed and the families gunned down, all because they want whites to leave. Yeah, there's a there's a really big social issue in South Africa, and I feel like we would be remiss not to at least mention it. There is a sort of a social war between white South Africans and black South Africans. Now, we all know that's been going on for a very long time. They had that separation, segregation for a long time. But there's been a turn over the last 10 years or so where they have just a faction of them, not all of them, a faction of them have decided that talking is over and it's time for action because they believe their wants and needs and things like that are not being listened to by the government, and they feel like they're being shut out of any kind of progress, talks, stuff like that. So they're just doing violent things like taking over people's homesteads. Like a lot of people in South Africa live in farms. So they have these giant properties that are farmland and things like that. They've been breaking into those, shooting the homeowners, taking the land forcefully, and it's been going on for a while. It's pretty sad. South Africa is a beautiful country with a very nice mix of people. There's some great black South Africans. There's some great white South Africans. There's also negative on both sides, the white side, the black side, like with any people. And it's very unfortunate it's got to this point. Gail said it's very much like cowboys and Indians, a little bit, unfortunately. I don't live in South Africa and I've never been there, so that's the extent of my knowledge on the topic. But I know there's a bunch of civil unrest going on over there, especially with this faction that just believe in taking things by force. They just think that talking won't do anything, and they just are like, well, it's our country. We're just going to take it back. We're just going to shoot people, take their land, and well, not their land. See, that's the issue. Is it whose land is it? Is it their land? Is it the white people who bought it? Is it should they give it back? Like, how does that all work? And yeah. Gayla said I had South African friends. I don't know if I know any South Africans now, but I went to school with a young girl who came from South Africa, and she was from she came to Australia. Her dad worked somewhere here. Moonlight View said many migrated from the Dutch colonies. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, let me see. Can we find anything else about Josh? Josh Sullivan is his name. He's from Maryville. Fox 8. Seems like there's not very many updates, unfortunately. Seems like the video I showed you might be the biggest one. Yeah. WSTEL. Yeah. Let's go to CBS. Do they have anything updated for him? What is it?
Trump has targeted since taking.
No, that's political. They say gunmen in South Africa have abducted a U.S. missionary from his church as he was delivering a sermon. That's weird. Why would they do that? They saying here, in what appeared to be a kidnapping for ransom. Okay, so they're looking for a ransom. Pretty common. Kidnappings, including by criminal gangs that target people for whom large ransoms can be demanded, have been increasing in South Africa in recent years. A spokesperson for the US State Department told the BBC that they were aware of the kidnapping of an American citizen in South Africa. Yeah, there was a video a number of years ago of a truck, an armored truck that was trying to get away from people who were trying to get it to try and shoot it and take the money. Let me see if I can find it. So this is an armored vehicle, and they're trying to evade being robbed. These people were trying to basically take over the vehicle and get the money. It's crazy. It's one of the craziest videos I've ever seen. Yeah, let's keep watching.
Coming after us. Coming after us.
By the way, the guy's driving is epic. This guy he could be Jason Statham. He could be like the real life version. Kind of looks like him a tiny bit too. His driving is immaculate. He's just like, whip it around, get around, do a U-turn here, stop traffic. They're on a highway. They're not on like a side road. They're on a freaking highway.
They're gonna shoot. They're gonna shoot. Found Robbie. Found Robbie. Found Josh. Ask him where they are.
Right there, they hit a barrier or a wall. They are very, very lucky that the car didn't become immobilized. And you can see there's already like shattered windows. Those are bullet resistant windows, but they only take so many shots and then they shatter. So yeah, it's crazy, this video. And you think about this guy that's been abducted. This is what happens. Like, it happens quite frequently in South Africa. There's a high level in crime in some places, not everywhere, just in some places. But this is the kind of stuff. Like, could you imagine if this was in the middle of LA? If this was in California, in like the middle of the city? It'd be crazy. I love it at the end. I don't know what happened or where they got to, or there was another video where you see the outside of it, and I don't have it unfortunately. there was like a CCTV and you see them driving around and actually what's happening to the van. Super scary. Like you see that that semi-auto weapon they had. Like he was getting out to be like, all right, let's go. You want a firefight? Let's do it. It's insane. You can talk about the videos. You dated a South African once? Laura T says we don't. Yeah. Be careful. The chat will get moderated. So for people who don't know, we have like our moderators, but there's a moderator above them that we can't do anything with. It's a YouTube moderate. So there are moderators, AI, but also human, that watch live stream chats from YouTube. So if you sort of, depending on the language, sometimes you'll have comments removed and you'll see it. It'll say removed by YouTube. So just be careful. But yeah, one of the craziest videos, like when I think of South Africa and crime, I think of videos like that. So I wonder if they have the other. There was other footage where you could see them from the outside of the vehicle. I don't know where that footage is, unfortunately. I don't have it, unfortunately. If you want to look it up, just look up South Africa armored vehicle heist, and you might be able to find it. But yeah, they had like CCTV stitched together, and you could see what was going on the outside. Undercover moderator. Do you think that's going to be a new show on CBS in the summer? They're going to have a new show called Undercover Moderator. And like it's like really your boss, and he's come in to moderate your YouTube chat room, and he's going to be like, oh, my name's Mark and I don't know anything about this channel, but I'm going to moderate it. Maybe. Catatonic says yeah, so if you can ever find that, the CCTV version, it's insane. Is this how the car ended up? Hold on, this might be the vehicle. I'm not sure if it's the same one. It looks like it. You can see all the bullet holes in the windshield, in the side mirror. The car got messed up when they hit that barrier. How they got away, I have no idea. So I worry about this pastor. I hope he's going to be okay. I also hope that in South Africa they find a way forward with unity and together. It's a beautiful country, and it would really suck to go back like 30 years ago or 40 years ago. Like, I don't think we need to do that. I think there's a way to do it where we can all benefit from our countries. Same in Australia. I think it's the same. Us and the Aboriginals and the native Australians, I think there's a way forward for both of us where we can both benefit from the country. It's just we've got to find a leader who's strong enough to make that happen. Same in South Africa, I think. Yeah, look, it is what it is, I think. All right. Let me see. Oh, that's interesting. Apparently, Kojakari, you guys remember Malina Kojakari? Apparently, they've released new advanced photo. Really? I want to see that. Yeah, they did. Okay, I'm going to take you to this. If you, Malina Kojakari, still missing. No one knows where she is. Let me take you to WCNC.
Tonight, the child's birthday is bringing a Cornelius community more pain than it is celebration. Malina Kojakari should be celebrating her 14th birthday like any other child, but no one knows where she is or if she's okay.
Yeah, it has been more than 2 years since she disappeared. WCNC Charles' Jesse Pierre spoke with the police chief, who hopes this new image here, this age progression, will generate leads.
Cornelius police released this new age progression photo, hoping that someone recognizes Madalina. Now, this case has been heavy on the agency and has led to grassroots efforts in the community with searches on many fronts, with folks trying to find Madalina.
It's very tough. It's very tough on all of us.
As Malina Kojakari's 14th birthday arrives, the Cornelius Police Department releasing a photo of what she might look like today.
I would say Diana or her stepfather, Chris Palmer, has to know where Madalina is or what happened to him.
Madalina was last seen publicly getting off her school bus in November of 2022. But several weeks passed before her mother, Diana Kojakari, and stepfather, Christopher Palmer, reported her missing. They were both arrested for not speaking up sooner. Chief David Bokum says for investigators, nothing is off the table.
We're exploring all options and we have from the very start.
Your belief is that she is still alive today?
Yes.
Why?
We have no indication that she's not, other than she's missing.
Meanwhile, in the community, people like Crystal Starr, part of two Where is Malina Kojakari Facebook groups, determined to find a break in the case.
I am a mother, and it's Madalina is local to me, so it's just very concerning that a child just goes missing and just vanishes without a trace.
The group's leading online search efforts combing through all available documents.
Just to get, new eyes on it, new ears to see if maybe we've missed something, whether we can, reach people overseas, friends, family. We've looked through all the search warrants.
So I think that one of the prevailing theories about Malina Kojakari is that they believe the mother may have somehow snuck her out of the country to Cyprus. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure it's Cyprus in Greece. Let me double check. But that's the prevailing theory that the PD have. That's why they keep saying they believe she might be actually alive. Because there's all these payments to some person overseas, and why would you send that much money? And the mum had said to people we need to do this quickly and blah blah blah. I think they think that maybe somehow she was taken overseas. So I don't know. Maybe she's off living in Greece or Cyprus somewhere. Maybe she's in Europe. I don't know, but you would think it would be pretty hard to smuggle a child out of the USA through a port, but I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but that photo of her growing up, it's very sad. Where is Malina Kojakari now that she is 14?
Actually listen to the testimony,
hoping they can find the missing link to Madalina.
Someone somewhere knows what happened to her. We will always keep looking for Madalina.
There's a $25,000 reward for any tips that lead to an arrest of the person responsible in Madalina's disappearance. Cornelius police say the smallest detail could be the break they need, and they are encouraging everyone to continue to share Madalina's photo. In Cornelius, Jesse Pierre, WCNC Charlotte.
There you go. That's what she looks like today, what they think she could look like as an age progression at age 14 now. Yeah, it is a really weird one. Her mother had been picked up for not reporting her missing and spent some time in jail. So did Christopher Palmer. I don't know. What do you guys think? You tell me, what do you think Malina Kojakari was smuggled somewhere or hidden? Or do you think that the mother and Christopher Palmer killed her around the day she was last seen? Let me know what you think. You always thought it was more nefarious? Rachel said, I'm sure she's out of the country. The payments to that priest are very suspicious, right? Why would you send all that money overseas? You think she's gone? I hope wherever she is, she's okay. That's at least if she is somewhere overseas, I hope she's not, being kept captive or something. Carlisa said, I'm worried she isn't alive anymore and the mum is afraid of the stepdad's involvement. You know, that mum was segregated from the stepdad for many, many months in that jail. She had plenty of time to ask for protection and, you know, if the dad did kill Madalina, she had plenty of time to step forward and tell the truth and get Christopher Palmer arrested. Let me see. I just want to know that priest. I just want to find that information for you. Malina Kojakari. Yeah, here. Mum burned missing daughter's photos, hid bag of cash, paid priest thousands of dollars, then fled the US. That's right, the mum isn't even in America anymore. She has left the USA. She's not even in Carolina anymore. Oh, sorry, it's not Cyprus, it's Moldova. Sorry guys, that's my fault. I don't know why I thought it was Cyprus. No, it's Moldova. So apparently Diana is back home in Moldova, even as no one can find her daughter. Among the newly unsealed warrants filed in the case, yeah, they said they saw evidence of a fire pit in the backyard. Madalina's mattress, clothing, Halloween costume, and family photos had been burned in the pit in the week since she went missing. That's really weird. If you had somehow smuggled your child overseas, why would you use a burn pit to burn her things? Why would you just not leave them? That's very strange. That's something like a murderer does. That's like what someone does when they've committed a crime. That's weird. Yeah, see, the first financial decision that drew suspicion occurred days after Madalina went missing when Diana made the first of two payments to a priest in Moldova that totaled nearly $4,000. She also said in a phone call with her mother from prison that she had hidden a large bag of cash. In none of the calls, however, did Diana or Palmer say anything about Madalina's whereabouts. Madalina was last seen exiting her school bus on November 22nd, 2022. But search efforts for Madalina did not get underway until 3 weeks later. It's almost like it could be either, right? Like that's the image I get from like knowing true crime. It could be either, but I don't understand why you would burn her belongings. It's almost like you're trying to get rid of trace evidence. Joe Neal says Moldova is a wonderful country. I don't know if I know much about Moldova. It is concerning. I don't know. Isn't it in Europe somewhere? Hold on. Moldova. The only time I ever see Moldova is when we do Eurovision. So do you guys know what Eurovision is? It's like a song contest. That's the only time I ever hear of Moldova. Where is it? Okay. So if you guys know where the Ukraine is, here. So it's in between the Ukraine and Romania. And then the Black Sea is at the bottom. So it's this little bit of land between both countries. And it's called Moldova. So Ukraine, Romania, Moldova. Up north, you have Russia. So there you go. It's south of Russia. South of Russia. So yeah, Khalida said, I'm wondering why we don't have any more info. I don't know. I think we've got quite a lot. We just, like, how would you smuggle a child out of the USA without anyone knowing? How would you do such a thing on short notice? I don't know. Do you guys have any ideas of how that might happen? Without being traced, if she went through any port, if she went through plane, boat, or anything like that, they would pick it up. CCTV, biometrics, facial recognition, anything like that. How could you do that? Yeah, I'm don't know how that would happen. Your chat's disappeared? Oh, spooky. Must be a ghost. I'm blaming Trish. Let's see. Yeah, so I don't have any more than that, but that age progression photo is pretty cool. Here's that photo of her again. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. What? Oh, wow. So apparently, did you guys see this story out of Alabama? It's weird. We don't do a lot of stories out of that place, but I thought I'd show it to you. A crocodile, not an alligator, a crocodile, and dozens of snakes found in home where 4-year-old boy accidentally shot himself. Okay. They say a 4-year-old boy in Alabama accidentally shot himself, according to authorities. The Blount County Sheriff's Office said the shooting happened at a home on Holiday Drive in the Sugarland Lake community. When deputies searched the home, they found drugs and unsecured guns, in addition to a crocodile and more than 24 snakes in the residence. The Department of Human Resources was called to the scene to remove other children from the home. The 4-year-old was taken to a hospital before being airlifted to Birmingham for treatment. What? How? Why is there all these snakes? No. What is going on in Alabama? I have a press conference, but I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it. Let's see. Oh, okay. So you can go there. I don't know if it'll play. Hold on.
5. Okay. Everybody ready? This, and had to get really into the details of the case. I am informed of things when I'm away, but
Let me know if you can hear it or not. If you can't hear it, I'll try find it from a news station. If I can find my way back to it.
a lot of times I don't get all of the in the weeds type stuff. So I had to sit down and really look at it today and get all of the details and talk to investigators to make sure that I wasn't going to put out something that he didn't want me to put out. Because this is still an ongoing investigation. And as of right now, they're charged but are not convicted. So we still have to protect evidence as much as we can when it comes to statements and things of that nature. But I do want to address the case where a young child, the age of 4 years old, was wounded in a house in the Sugarland Lake area, and that address is 502 Holiday Drive in Oneonta. We have 2 subjects that we currently have custody in our jail, Alexander Corey and Cassandra Lynn Lutz, the parents of the child who was injured during this incident. I'll give you just a brief synopsis, if that's okay. And at the end, if you have some questions, I'll do my best to answer those questions. Some things I won't be able to answer, some things I'll do my best, and then some things I'll have to defer to another agency, and we'll talk about that briefly in just a moment. But on the date of on the 4th of this month, at approximately 7:30 hours in the morning, one of my patrol sergeants, Sergeant Holloman, received a call from dispatch stating that there was a 4-year-old child at the emergency room with a gunshot wound, or a possible gunshot wound. Sergeant Holloman notified the investigator that works that area. His name is Sergeant Jared Eakes. He's the criminal investigator who covers that area specifically. Sergeant Eakes went to the hospital to make contact with the victim, and while he was there, he also made contact with our 2 suspects that we have in custody today. Sergeant Hull was also informed. He is the investigator that works for the sheriff's office that handles, his sole responsibility is crimes against women and children. And so he was also notified and has been very active in the investigation of this case. Sergeant Eakes, when he went to the hospital, he spoke to both the offenders and to the victim to try to understand what was going on and what had happened. When Sergeant Eakes arrived at the hospital, he did speak to a charge nurse who advised him that the mother was in the hospital with the child, yelling at him, making statements like, "See, this is what happens when you play with guns." The child did have a belt tied around his arm, acting as a tourniquet, but he also had a wound in his leg where there was nothing on his leg wound at the time. And the nurse at that time did not know if he had been shot once or twice, but indeed he had been shot once and had 2 wounds from that one shot. Sergeant Eakes obtained both parents' personal information while he was there at the hospital and spoke with doctors at the ER as well. And when he asked the child what happened, the child said, "I got shot by a gun." The child was then airlifted from the hospital here in Oneonta to Children's Hospital where he underwent surgery. Thankfully, I can report today that the child is stable. He is still in the hospital at this time, recovering from that surgery.
I'm going to stop it there, but there's most of the details. Insane. A crocodile. And the kid, no wonder the kid just picked up a gun and was like, hey, toys. Sounds like a crazy home for children to be in, right? I know, right? Nice garbage bin. Glad I got that in the frame. Yeah, I think that might be the they say in the comments here that there was some sort of technical difficulty. See, I apologize for the technical difficulties. Every Birmingham news station was there, so you can go to their pages. Were they? Is that true? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see if they really did film it. Oh yeah, here.
For you live at 5, the parents of a little boy who accidentally shot himself last week, well, they're now in custody. And this case also involves allegations of cruelty to animals. Alexander Corey and Cassandra Lutz are charged with assault after court records allege they left a gun unsecured and their 4-year-old son shot himself in the arm and knee. Deputies confirming he is recovering from surgery. Investigators also charging the two with 16 crimes related to animals, including fail to bury livestock and cruelty to animals. Court records say live snakes were kept in containers with dead and decomposing snakes. Investigators also found a crocodile. The two are also facing drug charges and a chemical endangerment charge. Investigators say the couple exposed their son and their other child to marijuana.
What? Snakes and decomposing snakes and drug charges. Well, I'm not surprised about the drug charges. I'm more surprised about the crocodile. Where on earth did you get a crocodile from? Failed to bury livestock, yeah. Yeah, he was feeding it to the T-Rex that they owned. Yeah, they definitely look like yeah, something. I can. Do you guys hear that? Do you guys hear that? Just listen carefully. Can you guys hear banjos playing? I can. I can hear just in the distance here. It's just, it's very freaky. Can hear it. Yeah, outstanding citizens. That's right. We don't actually get a lot from Alabama. It's weird. Like I scour states for information, but I don't do a lot out of Alabama. Jojo said, no wonder they had weed. Sounds very stressful. I'd be pretty stressed too. Like, normally you don't want the crocodiles to be in your home. You sort of want them to be out away from your home, not inside. Oh, Gayla said that earlier. That's funny. They had dead livestock. Yeah, I'm glad the child is being taken care of, and sounds like they had other children in the house too. Yes, dueling banjos. That's right. That's a negative social stereotype. Yes, I don't know if it's a stereotype. I just think it's a fact. Gayla says, go up the chat. Did you? Hold on, I can't see when I'm in the other screen. When I'm in the other screen controlling all the articles and stuff you see, I don't get to watch the chat. Where is it? Let me have a look. I can't find it, but I believe you. I believe you. No, where did you? Hold on. Oh, it's not showing up for me for some reason. Oh, that's a good point. Hold on. Moonlight View says, do private jets have to provide a manifest? Yes. All aircraft, according to the FAA, I think over certain limits, have to provide a manifest of what is on board. So I don't know how you would get away with putting a small child and being like, it's a cantaloupe. I don't think that would work. Although you never know, there's a lot of fentanyl that seems to be being sold in city streets. So who knows? Fentanyl, a child? Who knows what cantaloupes really are? Let's see. I can't find it, but yeah, I believe you. I believe you. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, here. I hear banjos. That's right. Can you hear them in the distance? I can definitely hear them. Yeah, I can see it now. She's definitely alive. You're talking about that other girl? I mean, the money thing is odd, right? Like, why on earth would you pay 4 grand to some random priest in Moldova? And we all know that places like Russia and maybe even, you know, their neighbors, the Ukraine, maybe don't have as, you know, the borders maybe not exactly concrete. They may be, but you know, a little leaky, especially in the EU and surrounding countries where you can travel freely. Who knows how people get places? Why wouldn't she be alive? Because they burned her mattress? Normally, you only burn mattresses and clothing when you want to get rid of trace evidence, like blood or baby batter. Gales, yeah. What time is it? Just before semi-porous, like the southern border. Wait, no, I didn't say that. Sorry. It was a slip of the tongue. I didn't say anything like that. Gayla said maybe because she was fleeing over there, so she trusted him with the money. Apparently, she had even more money that they haven't found. So, I don't know. I don't think so. Sean said the port of Odessa in the Ukraine was run by gangs. Could be criminal underworld. Could be. What's going on? I just want to check in on something. Oh, is it over? Hold on. Come on. Oh, Lady Gaga is going to be on in a minute. If you like Lady Gaga, she's on at Coachella very soon in about 12 minutes. In 12 minutes, if you like Lady Gaga, she is headlining Coachella Friday night tonight. I don't know. It's rife over there, yeah. You need to watch Kermit playing the banjo in a swamp. You could do that. You could do that. Didn't Disney remove like a really racist movie about the South? Isn't there like a really racist movie that Disney did about the South area of the USA? It's like all about like Louisiana and the Song of the South. Is that what it's called? I know they removed it from Disney Plus at one point because it was just super racist and had like a lot of offensive stereotypes to black people and things. Several movies. Song of the South. It's very old. It's from like the 50s or 60s or something like that. Muffin, you have to learn to share. You can't just have the entire seat, Bubba. Hey? You can't have the entire seat to yourself. He literally pushed me off and I was hurting my hip to be able to sit on the chair. It was like killing like my actual hip because I was like right about that much on the chair. And I was like, come on, buddy, you gotta move. You can't have the entire seat. Hey? Hey? Mr. Muffin? Don't bite. He likes to do that. If you hold your hand up like this, sometimes he'll lick you and sometimes he'll bite. So it just depends what mood he's in. Isn't that right, Muff? Yeah. Oh no, you want to go back to bed? All right. I don't think we can share like that. If you want to go into a ball, I don't think there's enough room to do that, boy. Why do you want to be with Dad? It's hot. It's like 100 degrees. You're a weird cat. Hey, you're a weird boy. We got couches everywhere. You could sleep on any of them. He's a strange boy. Ever since he came back from the cat place, the cattery, he's just been like super clingy. He's like, please don't ever send me back to that place. Please don't ever. Was I a bad boy? Why did you take me there? It's so funny. When I can find it, I'll show you guys. They sent us a postcard of both the cats while we were away. I don't know if I ever showed you. And he just looks so sad. He looks like the saddest cat in the world. Like his ears are like this, and his eyes are down, and he's all like, I hate it here. My dad's not here, and like, I'm not at my home. He was just so sad. He hated that place. Didn't you, Bubba? Yeah, you like being here, don't you? He hated the cattery. I don't think we could. Someone of close relative would have to get married again, or it'd have to be a funeral for like one of our like really close family for us to ever try it again. Because not only did Muffin hate it there, they also both got cat flu. So as soon as they came home, Rory had it first, and then she gave it to Muffin, and then they both had cat flu and was sneezing gunk everywhere. It was blah. The only reason we did it is because it was Mrs. Ping's sister. It was Mrs. Ping's sister, and she is like super close family. So it's the only reason we did it. Some pet places have videos where you can watch your pet while you're on vacation. Well, we were lucky. The place we took them was only about a block from where I live. So we were lucky. There's a cattery that's got a good reputation. They were quite good, but it's only about a block away. So they were very close to home. And the reason we chose that one is because we thought, yes, we thought if Muffin escaped, if there was some reason why Muffin or Rory got out, there would be a pretty good chance they'd be able to find their way home. Now, they wouldn't be able to get in, but they would be able to, be at the property. So we were like, being that it's so close, they may be able to find their way home. So that was the reason we took them to that one. There was another one that's about 15 minutes away. That one was a bigger one, and it had video and things like that. But it was a bit more expensive, and we didn't like taking them to an industrial area where they've never been before. So we preferred the one around the corner because it was close to home. So Joe Neal says, I don't know which comments are being hidden. Yeah, you'll see them. We didn't have drive-ins. Drive-ins? Yeah, PTSD for Muffin. I think he does have. He is already a hyper anxious cat. Hyper anxious. We have Fellaway. He takes no stress food, so he has to have stress CD for hills. He also has to take Zycoline or Zilkine or whatever it's called. So he's on Zilkine, he has stress food, and he has Fellaway, and he's still a very nervous cat. He's just, taking him away from home was very hard. It was not like we hated it like the whole time, but we had no choice. We were going to the wedding, or we were going to the wedding. Like we had no choice in the matter. Our family was like, you are going and you are going, and you have to be there. Like there is no ifs or buts, because we don't have a super large family on this side, and the bride wanted her family there, so we had to go. And it was a great time. We had fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the videos from Tasmania. I'm sorry we couldn't stream a bit more, but the reception was so bad. where we were in Tasmania, there was like no cell towers. So as soon as I went outside of the hotel, no cell. Couldn't pick up anything. At the wedding venue, no cell towers, no reception. Everything was 0 bars. I even took photos and shot videos for you. Tried to upload them. They didn't upload till we got back to the hotel. So yeah, but you guys had fun. We got to take you on a walk. Got to take you on a secret walk around the hotel. Take you down to the beach. We went to the beach a couple of times. What else did we do? Yeah, I think we had fun. Mrs. Ping read a crime story for you all. I think she read a article for you all, which is, hey, it's a rarity. She will probably never do it again. So you guys got her on a good night where she'd already had a couple of drinks. So we were pretty sloshed. When we came back from the wedding, we were a little drunk. So that was an interesting live show. If you haven't seen it, you can go back into December and watch it. For some time, hey, how are you, my friend? Yeah, so yeah, it's pretty heavily read. So if you see your messages removed, it's most likely not our moderators because we don't tend to remove anything. We have a pretty relaxed chat. Like we just don't I personally don't like when chats are really like tightened down unless it has to be because you got a billion people. But if it's just a bunch of people having fun with each other, I don't see the need to try and quieten out people's opinions because I feel like the internet is for everyone. Same with the chat rooms, it's for everyone. Unless you're a massive troll and being disruptive, then maybe we'll block it. But for the most part, I don't care what opinion you have as long as you contribute to the chat. So if you see your messages being removed, it's most likely not us. It's most likely YouTube. So, yeah, YouTube often holds things. Well, there's a lot of things we can't say. Like I can't say the R word. I can't say SA. I can't say CSAM. I can't say. Not supposed to say the M word either, but I do. Like that's the reason I don't make money on these videos. Like the ads, because I can't get my videos monetized because of the way I talk. So unless you guys want me to be like, a 23-year-old male was M today. He was killed by G. He had several G wounds, and his wife definitely in an MS. Like, unless you want me to talk like that, like, there's no real good way to get your videos to be monetized with ad revenue. You will just get, like, they just turn it off every time because of the language. So I can't, like, I tone it down a little bit, but I don't make a cent. Not 1 cent on any ad revenue on this channel because of the topics. So I made that decision is that I'd rather say the words or most of them. The only ones I can't say are anything to do with children, because that'll get your video blacklisted like that. But everything else I normally say it. There's only real 3 things. It's S word, can't use that because you get a giant banner under your video that's like, "Do you need help? You heard that word. Are you now S word? Please contact us today." I don't really want that. The other ones are the children ones, CSAM, CA, that type of thing. But everything else, I'll tell you what it is. Oh, and R word. R word, can't say that. But everything else, I'm like, I don't care. The guy killed her and, chopped off her head or whatever. Like, I'll tell you. But I made that decision that I didn't want to censor myself so much that the videos became boring and you'd be like, well, I might as well just read the article because I don't want to hear like abbreviated, like have to play guessing games as to what abbreviation is what. So it's, I lose a bit of money per month because of it, but I'd rather you guys hear the actual words. So so the pineapple applies to Trisha's side. Yeah. Yeah, the chat doesn't so much as dictate anything like that. It's more what I put in the title or what I say. So whatever I put in the title or the description or what I say, those are the things that tend to get you demonetized. Not so much the chat. That's more for you guys. It can get you deranked though. So if the chat is too violent or too over the top, you can get your videos deranked, which means more people won't see them. But yeah, the monetization thing, it's just me. But yeah, there you go. There's my reasoning for why we don't have ads or I don't put any. And because a lot of people are like, "Whoa, Ping, you must make a lot of money from the ad revenue. You got like thousands of views." Don't make a cent from it. Kathy Lynch says, if boys have pineapples, what do girls have? Purses. We came up with purses. So when I used to work at Web Sleuths, we used to say pineapples and purses. So girls have purses. So there you go. Every word should be fruit related. Yeah, I often use Lady Garden because I think it's hilarious. I think it's a funny mental image of like a girl tending to her lady garden. I was like, that's so funny. And it's like, it's so true. Because like, have you ever seen someone with like a set of like pruning shears, like doing their garden outside? I was like, that's like a girl with a razor. I was like, it's pretty funny. I like that word. Forson's mom said, guaranteed most of the chat is thinking the same as you. Probably. Most likely. Let's see. Yeah, it is. This, I promise you, we're one of the looser channels on YouTube in regards to any sort of censorship, even in the chat. Like, we don't really have any chat rules. Like a lot of them have rules like you can't do this, you can't say that, you can't whatever. Like most of our rule is just don't be a jerk. Yeah, that's it. That's the only rule I have is don't be a jerk and don't be a troll. Like that's it. But as for other rules, we don't have any other rules. So it's more about just keeping your comments up is what they're trying to say. They're trying to say that like if you want your comments to be seen, if you want your comments to be read by me, then you may have to adjust the way you say things because they will just get hidden and I won't see them. Like when I look on my list of things, Joe, my last comment that I can see from you is about 50 comments ago. This one here. This is the last comment I can see after the one you just posted. Because they're getting either hidden or taken away from my view. So that's all they're saying. They're just saying if you want to have your comments read or whatever, that's what you have to do. That's right, adults, yeah. Yeah, so we don't really have a ton of rules. Just don't be a jerk. Don't stir trouble. That's it. Don't come in here just being a troll. Other than that, if you have an opposing opinion, I don't really care. If you have the consensus opinion, great. If you have a different mindset, let us know. I'm open for all discussion. I think that's the best way for the internet to be. Anyone trying to say like you can't say this or this channel believes this, like don't you hate that? I hate that with true crime, where people are like, you go to a channel and they all think the same thing, like, oh, this person's guilty, and if someone speaks up, they get smacked down. It's like, what are you running here? Some sort of echo chamber? Like, why would you want to do that? Don't you want discussion and people to talk about the subjects? Like, free thinking is like the best things that humans have. Anything trying to deny that is very silly. All right, enough me blabbering on. I want to show you this. So when we're on that other news site, this popped up. They say a day after a reported neighborhood fight, Laredo police have confirmed that gunshots were indeed fired. Gunshots. They say authorities now say the incident, which happened around 5 p.m. in the 3500 block of Sinaloa Drive, did in fact involve gunfire. Investigators recovered spent shell casings at the scene, leading to the arrest of a 21-year-old Enrique Antonio Diaz and a 20-year-old Jacob Velasquez. They say further investigation led the anti-gang unit to a residence in the 2000 block of East Price Street, where officers recovered 2 firearms, a long rifle, and a handgun, along with additional ammunition. Some residents say the situation is part of a larger issue in the area. A resident who lives nearby said, in the early morning, you can hear the cars and then you can hear the ambulances. They drive as if they are on a racing track, and they drive through here like this, making a swerving motion. It's all full of rocks here, and this is where they make a turn. So she lives in a cul-de-sac, and she's saying that these people are acting like hoons in her area. Here, I'll play the video.
I'm Brenna Camacho. We'll have more on the economy in a moment, but first, shots fired. That's what's being confirmed after initial report from Laredo police said otherwise. Just a day after a fight breaks out in a South Laredo neighborhood that lands 2 people behind bars. It's our top story this evening. It happened at around 5 p.m. yesterday at the 3500 block of Sinaloa Drive. That's where investigators found spent casings at the scene, leading to the arrest of 21-year-old Enrique Antonio Diaz and 20-year-old Jacob Velasquez. The anti-gang unit also recovered 2 guns, along with a long rifle and a handgun, plus ammo at a home on the 2000 block of East Price Street. One neighborhood resident describes recent activity in her area as trouble waiting to happen and claims it's part of an ongoing pattern.
Early in the morning you can hear the cars and you can hear the ambulances. They drive as if they are on a racing track. And they drive through here like this, and it's full of rocks here, and this is where they'd make a turn.
The 2 men were booked and taken to the Webb County Jail. The investigation remains ongoing.
They made one calamitous mistake, and it just changed the entire course of my life.
Switched at birth, Kevin McMahon shared the same last name as another newborn 64 years ago at Jamaica Hospital.
There's no mystery as to what happened. Jamaica Hospital switched the babies, and the DNA proves it.
Baby Kevin McMahon went home with parents from Queens. Baby Ross McMahon went home with parents from Long Island. Kevin says he learned the heartbreaking truth through Ancestry.com. All 4 parents have since died.
My siblings joked that, you were the mailman's kid. He doesn't look anything like us. My younger siblings were fair-skinned, straight-haired, blue-eyed, with freckles.
The mother who raised Kevin suffered from alcoholism. There was neglect and torment in the household. His grandmother abused him.
He's not my son's.
Sorry about that. There you go. The other cat was like, "Hey, I want to jump up here," and I was like, "No." Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Dozens shots fired in South Laredo. So this is in Texas, Laredo, Texas. I mean, I'm not surprised about guns fired in Texas, to be honest. I'm not that shocked. Just 2 arrested. So they arrested those 2 guys that you see down the bottom here. Here's their photos. 21-year-old and a 20-year-old, both arrested over that firearm incident in Texas. Weird. So that's switched at Perth. It's a street name. Okay. All right. Let's have a look. What else do I have for you guys? I don't know if we get a lot of different suggestions. Oh, hey, wait, what? Wait, is that the girl? Hey, hold on, guys. Did you guys hear about Lorie Paige? Sorry, I just got it was in my, so I get an updated list every day. No. Hey, we did this girl's story like ages ago. And she disappeared from school one day. Do you remember? Is this the same girl? I hope it is. Yeah, she went missing in June 2023 from Georgia. No, from Florida, Tallahassee. And her body was found at the Merrily Plantation in Thomas County, Georgia on April 5th. Her father, Andrew Wiley, faces a second-degree murder charge in connection with her death. Yes, so we did a big appeal for her when she went missing because she'd been missing for so long, a couple of years. I can't believe they finally found out, but that's so sad because they thought she might be alive and someone was hiding her. Do you remember that? They thought someone might have been that she might have run away and been staying with someone she knew. Ah, wow, I can't believe. So they've arrested her father over this. Yeah, she was 12. Yes. Ah, that is very sad. So her father, 36 years old, has been charged with second-degree murder over her death. So Wiley reported his daughter missing on June 3rd, 2023, claiming she left home with her backpack sometime overnight while he was at work. They said in February 2024, detectives seized a phone from the father's home. A forensic analysis uncovers questionable internet searches about remote areas with bodies of water in Alabama and Georgia, among other things. New information eventually emerged about Wiley's relationship with Paige, which police said caused detectives to shift their focus more heavily towards him. Around that time, detectives started searching a remote brush-covered area of Thomastown, Georgia, known locally as a plantation. According to the police department, despite conducting multiple searches, no results were found until earlier this month. Police said detectives returned to the plantation for another search after a prescribed burn cleared heavy brush in the area. That's when they discovered her remains. Wow, that's crazy. Very sad. I remember they interviewed her teacher who said that they loved her and they said that she was a great student. She had a lot of friends who missed her and they were really hoping that she would come home eventually. Unfortunately, now it seems like she will not be coming home. Or she will be, but not alive. Here, I'll play the video.
Tallahassee, a bombshell announcement this afternoon, an arrest in the disappearance and murder of missing 12-year-old Lorie Paige.
Trusted, local. WCTV Eyewitness News starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Julie Montanaro. Tallahassee's police chief announcing within the last hour that they found Lorie Paige's remains last week and arrested her father for her murder. The announcement comes nearly 2 years after Lorie Paige was last seen. For months, one of her middle school teachers continuing to sound the alarm bells that something wasn't right, and that has turned out to be terribly true. Our Matt Hoffman is live at TPD headquarters right now with more on this afternoon's shocking announcement. Matt.
Yeah, Julie. So just to recap, the Tallahassee police chief announcing the arrest of Lorie Paige's father, Andrew Wiley, just within the last hour or so. Wiley now faces a second-degree murder charge, which will move through court. Paige's case made changes here inside TPD headquarters, where officers since dropped the use of the term runaway in missing person flyers. Wiley's arrest came together quickly after police searched a rural area of Thomas County, Georgia, called the Plantation again. Within just 4 days of that secondary search, Paige's remains were confirmed by the crime lab.
I told you 2 years ago we would never give up. I told you 2 years ago we would find Lorie and we would bring her home. I told you 2 years ago that we would find who did this and we would arrest them and bring them to justice. And today I stand before you to tell you we have done just that.
Wiley's arrest was announced at a hastily scheduled press conference.
Wow, crazy. I remember doing this story several times to try and raise awareness for Lorie Paige. And that is very sad news. She was a 12-year-old who vanished in 2023. She has been found dead in Georgia. And now her father, Andrew Wiley, 36, has been charged with second-degree murder. Yeah, like they said in that video, originally they thought she was a runaway. So they were appealing to people who might be harboring her. That's what they thought. And that she only lived with her dad, and that her dad was concerned about her, and that her teachers were actually the ones who were doing a lot of the public appeals with the news agencies about her. To find out that in the end it was her father who killed her, and then took her body out of the state into the neighboring state of Georgia and buried her is brutal. Brutal. I don't think I really was hoping that she had run away and that she was living a life somewhere, just maybe she didn't like home, or because at one stage I think they thought that she had run off with a boy she met. So that could have been polluted information that her father gave to police, because like they said, they eventually removed the word runaway from their public appeals for Lorie Paige. But this all came out only a few hours ago. Lorie Paige. Yeah, only like 3 hours ago, 3 to 6 hours ago. So the news came out, then they made the press conference very late today. So that's breaking news. We've had a lot of breaking news tonight. I want to see if there's a photo of her dad. I thought I saw one.
Reported this little girl. Lorie was in early 2020. Then this month, the detectives were processed. He was arrested, jailed tonight, held.
There's her dad there, Andrew Wiley. That's him after being arrested for murdering his daughter. Yeah, me too. Very sad, very sad. By the way, I wanted to thank my friend, the Thoros, Mr. and Mrs. Pingophobia. Everyone is here. Yeah. And thanks again for that $50, my friend. That is very kind of you. I never expect to get donations like that, so it's very sweet of you. Thank you, my friend. It's pretty cool. We've had 2 of them. I think the other one was, I feel bad, but I know who it is. I can't think of their screen name, but they're a great supporter. They sent in a $50 super chat a couple of weeks ago. So we've had a couple this month, so it's very kind. It's very sweet of everyone. Jojo said, ask if the teacher's looking for her, so I tried to. Yeah, so let me see if I can find that. There was a thing, I think it was on the 1-year anniversary of her going missing. A teacher from her school actually was speaking to the press. That's not it. I don't know if we'll be able to find it now. Now that she's been discovered. Yeah, here. Actually, I did find it. So back in the day, this was her teacher.
This girl, 12-year-old Lorie Paige, has been a missing runaway for 14 days. Now at 11, a professional at Griffin Middle School knows this. That's why she's trying to get the word out about her student, 12-year-old Lorie Paige.
I feel like after 14 days, there has to be at least one adult who has seen her or has an idea where she may have gone.
Lorie is considered a missing runaway and was last seen on June 3rd near the 1200 block of Continental Court, which is close to Ocala Road and less than a mile away from Mission San Luis. Brody Ferguson, pastor for New Birth Tabernacle of Praise in Griffin Heights, doesn't know Lorie personally, but he says in his position it's important to help the community any way he can.
So yeah, I think it was this teacher. On the 1-year anniversary of her being missing, she did a very long press conference with the same local media, and it felt like she was the one driving a lot of the looking for Lorie, not really her dad. It was this lady here. Her name is Margaret Summers. Margaret Summers was a middle school teacher, and she's a paraprofessional, and she really cared about Lorie, and she did a ton of media for her. It's yeah, that sucks, man. I really was thought that maybe she had gone with a friend and moved to New York, or when you hear people that don't like their life and they run away. I really thought that's what happened to her. I really did. But to hear that she had been in Georgia this entire time under brush so thick that the only way they found her, they went there and searched for her several times because of things they found on the father's phone. The only way they found it is when they did a controlled burn of the area, burned away all of the overgrown brush, and then they were able to search a location that they had unable to search in the past. Then they found her body only on the other day. now they have confirmed that it definitely is Lorie Paige. So yeah, I really thought that she, you know, because they, like you see in this is only 14 days after she went missing, and you can see in this thing here, missing runaway juvenile. This is the way they described her case very early on. They just kept saying that, oh, she'd run away. But like they said recently, they had started removing that from any public appeals about her because they knew that she wasn't a runaway and that her father possibly had some involvement in her death. Now we find out that it is 100% true. Oh, I hate that. What a lovely little girl. I don't know if we'll ever find out exactly why the father killed her. I'm not sure, but it seems like some sort of control type thing. I don't know. Yeah, I was hoping that it was something, I don't know. It's really disheartening when you read stories like that. It really is. Let's see.
A heartbreaking update to a story I've been following about missing 12-year-old Lorie Paige. I'm Mayor Sargent in the Midtown neighborhood. The Tallahassee Police Department says Paige's remains have been found and her father has been arrested in relation to her death. It's been a 22-month-long search by communities and agencies across Florida and Georgia to find 12-year-old Lorie Paige. Friday, the Tallahassee Police Department announced that her father, Andrew Wiley, has been arrested in relation to her death.
That was news that we needed. However, it wasn't the welcome news that we wanted. It wasn't one of hope, but certainly a one of closure. And certainly that puts us on the path of what do we do now?
TPD shared this timeline of the search that led to Paige's remains being found. June 3rd, 2023, Paige's father, Andrew Wiley, reported her missing, telling police she'd packed a backpack and left overnight while he was at work. After some inconsistencies with his story, police eventually shifted their focus to Wiley. In February 2024, a phone was taken from his home that they say included questionable internet searches about remote bodies of water in Georgia and Alabama. Not long afterwards, police say they also had digital evidence that led them to a remote area of Thomas County, where they searched for Lorie, but nothing was found. Until April 5th, when investigators returned to that area after a prescribed burn that cleared away the brush. A search of the area turned up Paige's remains. I spoke with Pastor Rudy Ferguson Friday, who led some of the efforts to find Paige.
It's our loss. Her life being taken was a part of us as well.
Ferguson says Friday's news will be felt deeply in this community.
Every little girl could be a little Lorie. You know, every little boy could be in the same situation as little Lorie. So it's important to understand that.
He's urging neighbors to safeguard our children.
We must start protecting our children. We must pay attention to the signs that they're in trauma situations. We must begin to just be our neighbors, you know, love one another, you know, make sure that, you know, the children next door are safe and secure.
As for her father, he's currently been charged with second-degree murder. TPD is asking anyone with any information to reach out to them directly or to contact Crime Solvers.
By the way, what a great pastor that man is, to take such an active role in his community and try and help kids he didn't even know. Like he said in that other video, he never knew Lorie Paige. Her family did not go to his church, but he felt because he is a local pastor in the area, he felt that it was his responsibility to do something. So he did a lot of like putting the posters, and you saw him doing the signs. His congregation spent money to do that. He seems like a really nice guy. I'm actually going to reach out to him, and I'm going to see if he'll come and talk to us about his church, but also his what he did for Lorie Paige. So I'm going to actually send him a little email and see if he'll come on. Right, I know, it's nice to see. It's refreshing to see someone who's so community focused, where it's not segregated, it's not group, it's not clique. It's we're all a part of this. What a great guy! It's nice to see that. It really is. And what a nice man. He really he really is like a great pastor. So I will reach out to him. I don't know if he'll agree to come on, but I'll try because I'd like to speak to him on the show. I get a lot of rejection for like people wanting to come on. We had this great podcast for a cold case for Rochelle. I've brought you it before, the story. They're doing a podcast in the Herald about it and a new campaign for it. Reached out to them, no reply. And I was like, why are you so snooty about stuff? Like, isn't, if you're truly about the story and about the person and about the family, who cares what channel and what platform you do the work on? And I offered them, I was like, hey, I'll play a bit of your podcast, I'll advertise it, we'll talk about the case. No reply. I was like, well, yeah, thanks for that. You could have reached a whole new audience who have no idea about you. Like heaps of Americans, British people, even Australians. We have a lot of Australians. You don't want the audience? Okay. Seems a bit odd, but okay. Yeah, unfortunately we get a lot of snooty people. I'm starting to get a bit annoyed about it. Ping is starting to get a bit pissed off with the elitism within true crime. Oh, I work for a paper. Oh, that means I'm better than you on YouTube. I don't see it like that. I see it that aren't we all trying to progress cases forward together in our own platforms? Like I'm on YouTube, you might do a podcast. Like what does it matter who does what? If it's truly about the cases, then it shouldn't matter. And it'd be nice if more people were like that. It's very frustrating. So, all right. Rachel said, I've never understood that. Isn't that the idea? Awareness. That's the way I think about it. I don't know why others don't. Joe Neal said they know we can't use words. No, I don't think they do. They got more restrictions than we do because they work for a paper. So there's a lot of things they can't say because their advertisers don't want to. So, look, I don't know. I reached out to him. I was very polite, and I'm not going to name who it was, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, get the weirdest emails from people. I haven't seen our friend the profiler for a while. I hope they're doing well. I hope they're doing well out there. They said they sent me an email, but I never got anything from them. It's a shame. I would have liked to talk to them in private. Never heard from them. It's weird. I think that's about it. I think we're almost done. I was trying to hold on to see if Mrs. Ping was going to come back so you guys could all say hello to her, but she's not. Oh, she might be back in a minute. Hold on. Oh, she might be back in like 2 minutes. Hold on. We might just hold on and see if she wants to say hello to you. Say hello to you all. Oh, she's here. Hold on. Yeah, she's here. We're gonna end the show. Everyone's saying hello, and there you go. She's still battling through, still waiting on some updates and solutions.
Yes.
Maybe one day.
Ugh, who knows? It's taking so long, and the system is just slow, backed up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hopefully soon.
One day.
One day. One day.
One day.
Exactly.
One day. Yeah. But you're gonna go to court, aren't you? You're gonna come to court with me?
Yes.
We're gonna go see Erin Patterson.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll get to see a court day.
I know. First time, so I think it'll be good.
Well, it'll be interesting at least.
Yeah,
First day is always the best, like opening statements.
Say that, so.
Hey, we got a $50 donation tonight.
Oh, jeez, that's very kind. Thank you.
It was from the Taurus. She sent in a $50 super chat. It was very kind.
Wow, that's very generous. Thank you.
And yeah, I think we're going to get out of here.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna watch some Coachella. Pings. I'm gonna go catch up on Coachella. Did you guys go watch? Did any of you go see Lady Gaga? Is she on right now? Let's have a look. Did she play? Oh, she's on. Oh my god, what is this? She's like in a graveyard or something. Wow, it is sort of true crime. I can't play it for you, and I can't show you any of the music, but she looks to be in. Look at this. Oh, she's in a graveyard. Yeah, look. There's like. Yeah, look.
Oh yeah.
She's like. It looks like dead bodies.
Interesting.
Talk about true crime. Talk about true crime. Yeah, she's in a graveyard. Like, it looks like all gravel and like dead bodies submerged in gravel. Trippy. Very trippy. All right. Hey, I love you all very much. Well, you couldn't hear her? You should. Yeah, you should go. You guys normally hear her when she's that close. Oh. It'll be interesting to hear what Mrs. Ping thinks about opening statements. Yeah, she'll be there at least for the first night, right? So she'll be there for at least the first day, then you got to go home on the Tuesday, right? You go home on the Wednesday or the Tuesday? Oh, okay. So she has to go home on the Wednesday, I think. So Monday, Tuesday, opening statement, she'll be there. So they're saying that you have to do the show on Monday night.
Oh, okay. Better get my news voice ready then.
News voice.
News presenter voice.
Oh, all right. Yeah, so you will get to hear from her a little bit. She's not really super interested in doing the show, and she's not super interested in being a part of it. But she'll at least maybe tell you some comments while we're up there. So she'll tell you what she thought of actually seeing Erin Patterson in court. So
yeah, no, I'll do that.
Yeah, that's it though. That's all you're getting. Hey, I love you all. Thank you so much. Hold on, we have to check one thing. All right. Hey, I just when we go, I am looking for a graphic artist. I'm looking at changing our banner, our icon, and a few other things before trial. If you are a graphic artist or you know of one that does good work, reach out to me on my email. Reach out to me on this email. We're looking at new banners, new icon like the little circle icon for Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, that type of thing. So we're looking at some more professional type stuff, just to spruce it up before trial. So if you know someone, please let me know. Reby, I haven't spoken to in a while. I don't know what's going on with her. She may have just got like super busy, but I haven't spoken to her since she was on the show in like January. So she may be just really busy. I know she's got her own business and things like that that she was having to put a lot of time into. So I think unfortunately at this point we may have to move to a different designer. And I can't keep asking her to work for free for that long. So she's been doing it for like 2 years. So I think it's time to probably invest a little bit of money into someone and get some proper graphic work done. So Tammy from Spirit Forest. I don't know who that is, but I can look it up. Alaska. I haven't seen Alaska in ages. I haven't seen Alaska in like I don't know since maybe the start of winter or something. But guys, people come and go. Like that's the thing I've learned in true crime. People sort of just like ebb and flow. So they'll get really interested in a case and then they'll disappear for a while and then they'll get really interested again and they'll come back and then their life gets really busy and then this becomes second like, priority and they don't come every night. And then, you know, like we had my friend from Palm Springs, actually she's very close to Coachella. I hope she's having a great weekend. My friend Shirl Huffman. I hope Shirl Huffman is having a great weekend out near Coachella. But I haven't seen Shirl in like 6 months or something, and then she came in and then she sent me an email. I can't tell you what's in the email, but she just sent me a sort of not that I asked for it, but she sent me an explanation of why I hadn't seen her, and it all made sense. Like I was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. Um, and it was very nice of her to send that. But I sort of learned over the time of doing this, just people come and go. They get busy, health things. It's just the life of YouTube, guys. People just get interested and disinterested or busy and just a thing. It's just what it is. Yeah, I hope she's okay. I hope she's doing all right in Alaska. Hope she's doing okay. Yeah, no, like I never expect anyone to be here every night. It's impossible. And I think people have other things to, with their lives or whatever. So I get it. Woos, no, Woos is still around. I still speak to Woos pretty frequently. Uh, I I just think that she doesn't want to be as super active in the chat, which is fine. But I still actually hear from her pretty frequently. I still hear from her at least a couple of times a month. Gambler, I don't know. I don't know. I know he's alive. I don't know why he's not here. I have no idea. I've reached out to him a couple of times. I haven't heard back. I'm not sure what's going on. I know he's alive. I've been able to see a couple of things, but I don't. He's super private, super likes his privacy. So I don't want to go into it too much, but I'll just say that I know he's alive and I think he's okay. I I don't know much more than that though, but I hope he's doing okay. Gambler, if you're out there, freaking check your Twitter. Check your Twitter. Get in contact with me. I miss him. He's a great guy. I really miss him. I really miss him. He's a fun guy. He tells me all the cases from Canada. I really miss his friendship. I do. He's been a great friend. Yeah, yeah. If we have to search for Gala, we'll be sending the dogs. We'll be sending the dogs. All right. Hey, have a great night. Have a great day tomorrow on Saturday, and I'll be back for Saturday nights with Ping. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we'll figure it out. Like tonight, we had 2 breaking news stories. It's been a busy night actually, and yeah, I'll be on every night. Like we don't take breaks. So I know Trisha's not doing tomorrow night or Sunday, but you'll have me. I'll be here Saturday, Sunday night. And I'll be back Monday with Trisha's time change. I'm not sure what we're going to do, but it really kind of squeezes me into a really bad spot. I think we're probably going to switch to 8:30 until the end of the Lorie Vallow trial, because going on at like midnight and then running a 2-hour show during the week we just will have no one here. It'll be way too late at night. No one will show up, and I think it'll be better if we go to 8:30, just until the end of the Lorie Vallow trial. So I'll see if I can make that work. Hopefully we can, and it'll most likely be 8:30 p.m. Eastern, starting Monday. Okay. I'll see you 10:30 tomorrow night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, and then Sunday will probably be about 10:30 Eastern too. All right, I love you all. Have a great night out there. If you're watching Coachella, have a cold beer for me and enjoy the music. Enjoy the music out there. Thank you to my friend the Thoris for the donation tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all the people who have been sending in donations since like earlier this year, like January. So many nice people have helped out, thrown in $20 where they can, and I really appreciate it. So this trip literally would not have happened without those people. So I'm very thankful for your investment in the channel. It's very kind. And I'll see you tomorrow, 10:30, okay? Have fun out there. Ping loves you all. Good night, everyone. Good night, Coachella. Bye.